of the youth, of the indigenous peoples, and traditional communities, the science, and ancient knowledge. That's why, to start our work, we are going to listen to the General Secretary of local and national governments that bring us the voices of those diverse Amazons. My friends are going to speak now, going to talk about important subjects about the Amazon and the pre-meetings that happened here between the 4th and the 6th of August. Also, hundreds of events that took place that have discussions about the biome and society. We're going to invite you to listen to us with a lot of attention. I'd like to say thanks to the Colombian government that promoted the scientific meeting about the Amazon that's extremely relevant for our summit here in Belém. So here in Belém, we aim to come up with a joint document of policies. My friends, I'd like to propose now a kind of organization for our event. First of all, we're going to listen to the governor of the Pará state, Barbalho, and also the secretary of the Amazon Cooperation Treaty Organization, who will speak, followed by 6 interventions about the public, 5 minutes for each person with regards to the Amazon dialogues. The third stage of our meeting, how we're going to think about the Amazon for the future regarding technology, academic research, and energy. Also, then from Ecuador, representative from Ecuador, going to talk about the peoples from the forest and the sustainable development and enslaved work in the region. The next, from Venezuela, Black Amazon. The fourth meeting from Colombia, and then the climate change and ecology, new models of production for the regional models. In the second meeting, Pablo Nere from Brazil, health sovereignty in the Amazon region, emergency actions. In the fifth meeting from Brazil, the indigenous people, a new inclusive model for the region. After the representative of each of the 6 meetings, you know, I've mixed up the numbers. You know, I went from 1 to 6 and then 5th, but we're going to have the mayor from Belém as a representative of the coalition of the Amazon leaderships. The first part of this summit will be taken by Márcio Macedo, followed by a break which will take an official photo with the members of the Amazon Cooperation Treaty Organization. And Mauro Vieira, the foreign minister, will talk about discussions that took place yesterday. After that, each chief of state will have a time to reflect on their points. on this order, finishing with Venezuela. Suriname will have 10 minutes, and then we're going to break for lunch that will take place here in the convention center. If you all agree with that, thank you very much for your attention. And let's welcome here the governor of the state of Pará in Brazil. Dear President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, First Lady Janja Lula da Silva, all the heads of states and governors, the secretary from the Amazon Cooperation Treaty Organization, all the senators, ministers, the participants from the different states, governors, authorities, public, members of the public, to the indigenous people and the traditional communities, the press. In the name of the people from Pará, in the First Ladies, it's an honor and a privilege to welcome you all in this historic day of our state and to the whole of the Amazon. This conference, this summit that we now start, it's crowning the fight for this region that's so rich for the whole of South America. This region faces challenges, frustrations, and victories. The fact that we are here, united by the initiative by President Lula, it's a result of a diplomatic, economic desire of working with the Amazon. The Amazon, it's an everyday preoccupation for all of us, for who lives here and dedicates themselves to the region and to its people. The Amazon, dear President, is diversity, biomes, cultures, vegetation, fauna, land, rivers, and above all, of people. The people from the Amazon, we embrace you, President, and all of the chiefs of state and all the participants in this summit, and all the events that led up to today. This embrace is more than a physical gesture, but it's the sharing a belief that we can change things. So much deforestation because of greed. It's time to look at this wealth that we have to look after as a symbol for a common ground and a joint construction. This is not a new movement. We need to act led by joint values of inclusivity and something that will build and transcend the borders and leads to conservation and innovation based in culture and in the identity that has inspired women, men, youth, and the elderly in this land. Each one has their own fight and their own stories. This space is very important for everyone who lives here. Nothing will serve to produce destruction or an old view of progress. Nature shows its limits and very dark consequences can show even more if we don't change. It's important to change and adapt the emissions of greenhouse gases and change to a new economy of a live forest, sustainability and sovereignty, dialogue and cooperation. Those are the points that will lead us in a work that takes Brazil and the other countries from the Amazon Cooperation Treaty Organization that understand the complexity of the political, environmental, and economic challenges that we face. So all that we must combat deforestation, but we also need to create a bioeconomy. We need to protect the indigenous people and the traditional people, but we also need to make an effort to conserve rivers and the biodiversity with care that nature demands. We need to prohibit the exploitation of man to man. We must answer those challenges, and it demands actions that will make public and private actions. We need states that create reforms on their strategies and academics that expand the frontiers of knowledge and are able to produce that in the Amazon. The levels of governmentship will be access for the generation of knowledge and to generate tools of who act in this process. In Pará, we are committed to this. Dear President, this confirms the identity of the Amazon in South America. Brazil is now with a dialogue with the world that we can define new paths within the world sphere. The participants in this summit must know that now we started a new trajectory of reconstruction of a more fair and society with equality. So be very welcome here to Pará. Be very welcome here in Belém.